Hey there, and welcome to Ask the Mouse. I'm Danielle. Disney has been part of my life for as long as I can remember. What started as childhood magic has grown into a lifelong passion. And now, I get to share that passion with you. Whether you're planning your very first Disney trip or you're a seasoned park veteran looking for something new, I'm here to help you unlock the tips, tricks, and insider knowledge that will make your visit truly magical. My goal is simple: to help you create memories that will last a lifetime. So let's dive in and discover the magic together.
The fourth day was the last day at sea, and that day we had a lot of fun as a family. Again, we did breakfast in Cabanas, which happens to be our favorite spot for getting breakfast. You can dine at other places as well, of course, but Cabanas just is great for the variety of the food that is offered. After that, I went downstairs with my mom. In front of the Walt Disney Theater, there was an opportunity to take pictures with Goofy, and he had on his sailor outfit. And I saw some really warm encounters with the kids. There was a little girl who had the Goofy doll in his sailor outfit, and then there was big old Goofy, and she held on for him with a hug for the longest. It was just the cutest memory to just see, and you really start to understand the impact Disney has on parents, adults, the kids. Like, it makes them feel safe and happy and warm and loved. I don't know if it's still a thing, but I know at a time Disney had a policy that the cast members, the characters, weren't necessarily allowed to let go of a hug first. So if they were encountering a hug with someone, they had to stay holding on to that person until the person, the kid, the individual let go. And that is what happened with the little girl with her Goofy doll. And it was just so cute to see. And you never know, someone might need that hug. And I feel like my heart got hugged just watching it. So it was just so heartfelt. But I got to take pictures with Goofy, and that was really fun. I took pictures with my mom, and anytime I get to take pictures with my mom and the characters, it's like a full circle experience for me, since she was the original Disney fan who introduced my sister and I to the world of Disney, which has started the passion that I now have for it. So it's always fun taking pictures with her at Disney parks or any of the Disney experiences. So after the character photos, I felt like I had all the ones that I wanted checked off on my list, and we then made our way to Fathoms. Disney's Magic has a after hours section for nightly activities. You could go to Keys, which is a nice bar and lounge area where there is a pianist who plays. You can go to Fathoms, which is fun for trivia and game shows. And then there's also O'Gill's, the pub that I mentioned earlier where we played Codenames. And in Fathoms that afternoon, there was going to be a bingo opportunity, and the bingo was open for families. You could partake in it by purchasing either one of the digital bingo cards, which would enable you to just sit back, watch the tablet, go through all the cards to determine if you had a bingo, or you could do it the old school way and they would give you a physical card to mark off. There are several different tiers of how you could purchase your bingo cards. I think for the tablets that we had that offered 48 cards, and it was about $50. But the jackpot that afternoon for bingo was $5,000. So there were 4 games of bingo, and as the game progressed, when there were winners, the cash prizes also started to increase. So I think the first one was in the 300s, the second and the third game were in the 400s, and then the last game was the opportunity to hit the jackpot. And it was the bingo game where you had to get all tiles covered in less than 46 numbers called. And if the bingo game exceeded 46 numbers called, then the jackpot was gone. And that happened on the cruise, so the highest winner received over $600. It was still a fun experience. We didn't win anything, but it was really great to have time with my family, to play bingo, and then have the entertainment from the cruise director of entertainment there who was hosting the show. So Highly recommend doing some activities and experiencing game shows or trivia like that. My sister and her husband participated in the couples trivia where you were watching this game show theme. There were like 3 couples who were selected. They were just trying to see if the other spouse was able to accurately guess things that the other person would say. So the spouses were answering a trivia question, how the other spouse would answer it. There's so many things you can do aboard the Disney cruise, whether it is the activities, the pubs, the lounges, the bars, shopping that takes place. Like I said, this cute sweater, at least I think it's cute, that I purchased. You can buy the traditional Disney gifts and plushes and cups and mugs and magnets, the Animator's Palette butter knife. So don't take it off the table. Just go to the gift store, buy it for $12.99. Please do not do that. There's so many things you can do at the spa. If you go to Senses, there was a day where they were giving out complimentary 5-minute massages on deck 9. And then that was a way to encourage and entice people to go to the spa. You could also go to the adult only section, which is where my dad had a great time in Cove Cafe, which is the equivalent of like a coffee shop, and he had the cutest chai lattes with Stitch and Spider-Man imprinted on top, and just relaxed and lounged. I definitely did that one day, and I just sat on the bench, looked out at sea, and you just see the water and the waves. You get to detach from your normal life where you're used to being in an office, being around people that are constantly doing something. You're at the grocery store. Whereas when you're at sea and you're on a Disney cruise, everyone just has the same purpose there with you, to enjoy their vacation. And looking out in the water and not seeing anything in sight but water, it actually was peaceful. It wasn't a weird paranoid experience because you felt like you could truly unplug. Speaking of unplugging, using the Disney Cruise Line Wi-Fi gives you access to the Navigator app. Wi-Fi is a little limited and spotty. You definitely don't have internet, but you can purchase internet on the cruise. On previous cruises, knowing that I would not have internet, I planned in advance, but I have a 4-5 year long Duolingo streak, as well as some activities that I needed to partake in, and such as like checking in our pets back at home. So I bought Wi-Fi. So you can purchase Wi-Fi, but if you want, you can do what Danny did, and he put his phone on airplane mode and was truly unplugged. And I think that's one of the coolest things about Disney Cruise Line. Compared to the parks, you can unplug, you can separate from the rest of the world, so to speak, and you have access to fine dining, entertainment, characters, and just a concierge type experience with the wait staff following you around every night. It's amazing.
Disney fans, Bibbidi Bobbidi Booty is also on the Disney Magic. So make sure that you book your reservation so that you can help your little one feel even more special with their very own makeover. This is located on Deck 10, Forward.
So we did a lot of fun things on the last day at sea. Danny and I also played shuffleboard. He's been wanting to play shuffleboard, and I wanted to play with him too, and we both learned how to do it together on Deck 4. So we're playing shuffleboard. People are walking around Deck 4 doing laps. Speaking of, on Deck 4, that's a great jogging, walking trail. If you do 3 laps on Deck 4, that's equivalent to 1 mile. And you have the ocean out on either the left or the right side, depending on what side of the ship you're on. You have a nice breeze, and it just is so relaxing. A lot of people also take naps up there. You can bring a book. You can just lounge and enjoy yourself.
Deck 4 is one of the most happening spots aboard the Disney Cruise Magic. There are so many things to do. Whether you're very athletic and you want to take a walk or a jog along the deck here, or inside, you can visit some of the favorite dining spots such as Animator's Palette, look at photography at Shutters, or even go to the Soul Cat Lounge.
So we truly experienced several things aboard the ship on day 4, our last day at sea. And for dinner, we skipped Rapunzel's royal table, you guys, to go to Palo. And I wish I could go back right now. Palo was amazing. It's truly as hyped up and as incredible as any of the positive reviews you may have seen. We had dining reservations at Palo originally for 6:30, but I was starting to get concerned that that might be a little too close for the 8:30 showtime, because based on our past experience with our dining rotation, 5:45 dining out by like 7:30. So starting a dinner later was like, we're gonna be cutting it a little close. So I went to guest services. We took family photos throughout the ship, but we also dressed up that night for Palo and took some family photos. And then after that experience, it was around 5:50. So I went to guest services and asked if they had any availability to bump up our time. So we got a 6 p.m. dining at Palo. Palo is 18 and older dining. So Disney built Palo, which Apollo is the pole. If you've ever been to Italy and you've been on a gondola, it's what's used to row the ship, so to speak. And Palo is an Italian restaurant. It is on the 10th floor of the Disney cruise, so the 10th deck, and you have to make reservations in advance for Palo. There are opportunities aboard the ship if you did not book dining beforehand, but if you watched my previous video, Palo is one of the restaurants that I was very eager and intent on booking, because reservations can sometimes be limited and they also fill up. At Palo, you can dine for brunch. You can also dine for dinner. Again, we opted in for dinner, and the team at Palo is incredible. Shout out to Luigi. He was an amazing host for us, a great waiter. He's actually a Michelin star waiter, in my opinion, because he's worked at other Michelin restaurants, but he was incredible. We got an upgraded experience at Palo because we were able to dine in the private dining room. So the 6 of us got to hear stories from Luigi, excellent recommendations for the menu. The menu is 2 options. You can opt in for the course dining, which would allow you to get an appetizer, a salad, a soup, a pasta, and as well as a main course and a dessert. Or you can purchase the a la carte menu, where you can purchase as little or as much as you like. And they're also amazing wine list. For our dining experience, I think all of us opted in for the a la carte because we wanted to try a few different things that weren't necessarily offered on the course dining. Everyone started with an appetizer, which was a beautiful gnocchi with a mushroom pesto sauce at the bottom. The bread service happened to be the best bread service I've ever had. Some of the bread was made with zero flour, which is an Italian flour, which is fine milled flour, which was really good. So we had a pizza-like bread, which was lightly marinated with pesto and some other options, but they were truly delicious. My sister ordered the calamari, and as we saw it coming to the table, and it was a large, beautifully fried piece of shrimp, as well as beautifully fried calamari, Danny and I were like, oh my gosh, we want that too. So we ordered calamari, which happens to be the best calamari I've ever had. I had a salad with a beautiful balsamic vinaigrette on top. The glaze was mwah. I got the name of it from Luigi, so I will also add it on here if you're interested. In addition to the calamari and the salad, for my main course, I ordered the pesto gnocchi, and oh, that is so good. If you've never had fresh gnocchi, then you're missing out, because it should not feel super hard as you bite gnocchi or a little tough. It should be a little soft, but fresh gnocchi like we had at Palo is delicious. There was a pesto sauce and some pine nuts and these fresh tomatoes from Italy. I think, is it San Marzano tomatoes. They were really good. I ate everything, I enjoyed it. And then if you're also interested in trying the chocolate souffle, I highly recommend trying the chocolate souffle. The time it takes is about 30 minutes to prepare, so you do want to make your wait staff aware that you're interested in trying it. But being at Palo, being in the private dining, experience like no other. I did not even feel like I was aboard the Disney cruise. There is a beautiful mosaic that Danny and I were facing, and I asked Luigi, hey, are there any hidden Mickeys in the mosaic? There aren't. Palo doesn't have, I think, a hint of Disney in there. It is a Disney restaurant. You can only eat at Palo on Disney cruises. But if you are trying to get away from the Disney experience and you just want to have like a nice different night, you should go to Palo. The food was incredible. I wish I could go back now. So I highly recommend, if you're going on a Disney cruise, try Palo at least once. I know I'm gonna try to go back every cruise I go on. It is worth it, my friends. Palo is definitely worth it. So like I mentioned, Palo was our last dining experience. And after eating at Palo, we rushed down to the Walt Disney Theater to watch the last show, which was, I think it was called Disney Dreams. And the storyline was about a young girl who did not want to start school the next day. And Peter Pan comes and tries to help her dream and believe and just feel the magic of Disney. So there are lots of familiar characters such as Aladdin, The Lion King, all these themes and stories that she is recalling and experiencing with Peter Pan throughout the performance. And it's really fun. And of course, Minnie and Mickey also come on stage. So that makes it magical. But I will say, I'm so glad that we moved our dinner time from Palo from 6:30 to 6 because we rushed downstairs to the Walt Disney Theater and we made it there just in time for curtain call. So I love the performance. I started feeling sad that entire day, knowing that the next day we would be ending the vacation, getting off the cruise. You start getting these little hints that the vacation is over as well. I think it was the night before, maybe it was that morning or that afternoon, our room host brought in the paper asking for you to mark your gratuities for everyone, which is a beautiful thing that you can do and provide to the team that serviced you. But then I'm like, oh, this is one of those signs that it's time to get off the ship. And then I think later that night, we also received the luggage tags. I'm like, oh, they don't really want me here anymore. So when it comes to Disembarkation Day, which is I guess the best way to transition into it, Disembarkation Day is going to be sad. I was trying to see if I wanted to use the word bittersweet. It's bitter, I guess sweet if you're excited to return home. I was, that's the positive of it, but I wasn't like eager or ready to come home. I could have stayed on that ship for days. So leaving the Disney cruise, I'm sorry I even have to talk about this. Similar to how you got on the ship, you can also decide to take all your luggage with you off the ship, or you can opt in to put your luggage at your door the night before you get off, and Disney will take it based on the luggage tag, based on the character. Ours were Tinkerbell. That's where you know where to pick up the luggage once you disembark. Danny and I decided, I think the entire family, we decided to just bring all our luggage. We didn't want to worry about waiting to pick up our luggage or any of the hassle of trying to find it. Not that there is ever a chaotic experience with that, but we just like knowing that our luggage was all together with us. So to disembark, there are a few processes. First and foremost, you want to make sure that you have retrieved everything, you've packed everything in your stateroom. Do that the night before, do it throughout the cruise, whatever. Just make sure you're organized and you have everything tidy and with you. We woke up around 6 o'clock. We had the ability to eat breakfast at Rapunzel's Royal Table since that was the last place that we as a rotation were dining. So I think the way it works, your last dining rotation is where you can also eat breakfast the day you disembark. Like I mentioned again earlier, we did not eat at Rapunzel's Royal Table, but there are opportunities to dine at places either for lunch or the last day for breakfast in our case, so that we were able to still experience the restaurant, although we didn't get the festivities of celebrating Rapunzel's birthday and everything that comes with that. Breakfast was great. I got an omelet, had a croissant, some oatmeal. You can still get beverages such as teas and juice and coffee. It also starts getting a little bittersweet because you know it's the last time that you'll have with your dining team. Because we had all of our luggage with us, we were able to walk off of the ship after breakfast. There is an express walk off. There is the route that we took where we had everything with us and we were able to just walk off. And then if you are opting in to have your luggage with Disney, for pickup when you leave, you do have to wait a little longer. I think we got off the ship around 8 a.m. Leaving the ship from the gangway, I did look back and it was sad. It's like a And I'm getting a little teary-eyed thinking about it now, but you get off the ship and you look back when you're off and you see the atrium and you see the statue and the crew members, and you're like, I just experienced that, and now I'm not on the ship anymore, and I have to return to life not being on a Disney cruise. And you're like, oh, I have to plan for dinner, and I have to go to work and do all these other things, which is not bad, but I guess the heartfelt emotional experience truly does tell you guys like how much I enjoyed the cruise, and the rest of my family felt the same way. In a way, you could also say, oh my gosh, what a big baby. She's like crying about this. I have also been crying about leaving Disney parks and Disney cruises for as long as I have been going to them as a little kid. So it truly is something that I love. Disembarking is not hard. You do want to make sure that you have at least 2 forms of identification with you. This is to confirm that you are who you are because you went on an international trip. You can't bring fruits, you can't bring meat products back off the ship into the port. It was an easy process. I don't even think we had to take out our passports, or did we? I think we had them as identification, but it wasn't needed. It was almost like global entry. We stood in front of the technology or the piece of equipment that identifies your face. They're like, this is Danielle, this matches what her passport looks like, that's her. Hasta la vista, au revoir, get off of the ship. It was so easy. I think from disembarking the ship, leaving the gangway, all the way back down to the end to get out of the terminal, it probably took 5 minutes. There are going to be lots of friendly faces and crew members waving with the Mickey hand saying, welcome back, you had a great trip, yay, welcome back. And I was like, oh, thank you. I missed being on the ship already. But it was really magical. I love the experience, and one of the things that Danny and I did, we took advantage of booking a discounted cruise, a future sailing at a discounted rate. So it's like a placeholder. You can pay a deposit, ours was $250, to be able to book a future sailing at least 2 years out from the day that you book the placeholder. The placeholder can only be booked while you're on board the ship. You can do it the first day of the cruise, you can do it the last day, but you have to book it aboard the ship. This placeholder will last, like I said, 2 years in advance from the day you book the placeholder, and you can get some discounts on select sailing. So we're definitely looking forward to going on another cruise. I highly recommend the Disney Magic and all the Disney Cruise Line ships. If you've never been on one before, get sailing. It's going to be an experience you're going to love, whether you go with kids, you go by yourself, you go with family members. It's so fun and it's easy, and I would almost even say it's the best introduction to Disney because you get so much service, attention to detail is provided, the character experiences. If maybe you aren't one who likes walking around and experiencing attractions, or you don't really want that for your next vacation, then sailing on a Disney cruise is going to be more of a laid-back, enjoyable, relaxing experience. Again, you can make your vacation as packed of adventure and fun-filled as much as you like or as little as you like, whether you're on a Disney Cruise Line or at a Disney park. But I truly love Disney Cruise Line. They do an incredible job. The cruise directors, everyone, the crew members, it's just so much fun. And I'm so thankful that I get to document and share this experience with you guys, and I truly hope this has helped you. If you have any questions about planning your trip or about the experience we had, or want to know anything more, please leave your comments below. I'll be showcasing tidbits of the trip through Instagram as well as YouTube, and I really hope that one day, if you haven't already done so, you can experience it too. Or that if you have, and I've shared anything that gives you a little bit more insight, that it helps you have a wonderful and magical cruise. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you can share this video with others. Please hit the subscribe button, like it, share some comments if you like as well. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Danielle from Ask the Mouse. Bye for now.